This is Mellow John. Here's my collection of the band Hell. This is the second there's the cover and track listing. Here's the first CD. It came out in 2011. I had the deluxe edition. This is called Human Remains. It's a 2-disc. I like that. Here's the first disc, and the second disc looks like. Now with the meat and potatoes is done. Okay, the band formed in 1982 from two different bands. Former members of two different bands. A Race Against Time and Parallax. One thing about these two CDs is that the first CD, on the second album, they did recordings of The Disposer, Supreme. They did a recording Death Squad, Land of the Living Dead. Those songs are from the early demos from the 80s. And they did cover to the former band, Race Against Time. This song is called Harbinger of Death. First CD, they did a recording of On Earth as It Is in Hell, Plague and Fire, Blasphemy and the Master, Let Battle Commence, The Devil's Deadly Weapon, The Quest, Macbeth. They did cover two. They re-recorded Save Us from Those Who Would Save Us, No Malter, Cage. And then they did another, and unlike the second album, they did another recording. They did a cover to another Race Against Time, the Oppressors. Amazing stuff, man. Now, it's interesting. They were formed out of two different bands, Parallax and like as mentioned, A Race Against Time. They were signed to a Belgian label called Molosseum Records. About 2 weeks later, prior to recording of their debut album, the label collapsed. Then guitarist Kevin Bauer left the band. They were replaced by Gene Kelly before they broke up. What caused the split was, right after they split, vocalist David Holiday, who was also their lead guitarist, committed suicide by carbon monoxide poisoning. Before that, he was teaching a future unknown guitarist named Andy Snap, who later on helped form a band called Sabbath with Mark Rockner. He always mentioned Hell as one of his Andy Snap mentions the band Hell as one of his influences, as main influences. He went on to become a world-renowned record producer with over 100 albums and a Swedish Grammy Awards to his credit. Yeah, touring guitars for Judas Priest. But then when they reformed in 2008 with Andy Snaps on guitar, the first singer they had was the former singer Sabbath and Skyclad was on vocal. Martin Rockner on vocals, but then he left in 2010. Then they got the The guitarist, Kev Bauer's brother, a British actor named David Bauer. On vocals, this is how he looks like. He became the full-time singer before they broke up in 2018. But man, I kind of wish we got a third seed from Hell. No, this band's amazing. Way better than Iron Maiden. That's my opinion. That's my opinion still to this day. Better storytelling in their music and everything. Like, share, comment. Mellow Rules. And also, I forgot to mention something. Their sound is unique too. They mix occult rock with speed metal. So I looked up on Copilot. I asked them what's the perfect name for their sound mixture of speed and occult rock. They told me this: arcane, electric out, metal, because it captures their occult, their sound and their ritualic delivery of their music and all that live. That's pretty. I'm glad they helped me with that because they're not speed or occult metal at all. They have their own little sound by mixing those elements. They didn't like being tagged as new wave of British metal. And they didn't want to be part of that under that name. So that makes sense. If you want a better idea what I mean about the name, never mind. Like, share, comment. Metal Rules, baby.